This is Eric Scharf. I'm here with Tony Moore from Emery Park Carpets to show you how easy it is to seam our new product Dunmore and how beautiful our fabricated area rugs are going to look. The first seam that Tony's going to prepare for us is the side seam. He uses the screwdriver to pick his row, then takes the carpet knife to cut it with ease. Tony then prepares the butt seam using the same method, sets it with the screwdriver, and then cuts it with the carpet knife. Very simple, very easy for a butt seam. Once the pieces are cut, Tony places them together, ready for seaming, and then flips them over. Tony lines up the backing, pegs it down for stability, then places the seaming tape in place. Tony then places the glue on the seam tape and spreads it evenly to make sure that there's adequate binding between the backing and the seam tape. Once the seam is cooled, Tony removes the pegs, flips it over. Beautiful butt seam. It is virtually impossible to tell where that butt seam is, one of the most difficult seams in our industry. Now that we've done the most difficult seam, we're going to move to the side seam, which is really a more traditional seam. As Tony proceeds to the side seam, he uses the same method that he used on the butt seam. Pegs the samples for stability, places the seam tape, and then starts to glue. Once the glue is spread evenly, Tony then places the bar on it to cool the seam, removes the pegs, brushes off the face, and inspects his work. Beautiful. Very, very difficult to tell where the seam is. Now remember in this sample that there is a butt seam and a side seam. This is what the final sample looks like with the two seams. This is what the sample looks like with no seams. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate your support.